Leaks has. Got your right. Oh, that's our blooper. That's our blooper.
Hi, I'm Sin.
Hi, I'm Easy, and welcome back to Plot Twist.
So, this episode, we're gonna do things a little differently. We're gonna give a shout out to Gabriela Rodriguez for commenting down below. So, every time someone comments, we'll shout them out and read their message and discuss it with you guys all.
Yes. So Gabriela commented, Amira and Leaks are two very different people at two very different times in their lives, and it's been interesting to read about each side from their interactions together. When we find out how Leaks began and where she is now, we can pin her as a confident, successful influencer, but part of her is showing off entitled. When she began to snoop through Amira's phone, it made me distrust her because who would feel comfortable with their employer going through your phone? Girl. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like Alix has been stepping over so many boundaries that she at first was one of my favorite characters, but now it's like...
Now that we're deeper into the book,
yeah,
I feel the same way. I don't know. I don't trust her.
I do feel as though there's a part of her that's crazy.
Yeah.
She's overly obsessive as to she wants to be liked. She wants to feel like she has these friends, you know? Like, and with the mirror, she became obsessed.
But then again, it could also be because she has, her friends live in New York. She doesn't have anyone.
Yeah.
It's just her business. 2 babies. As mothers, we've been there.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the point where if I'm going through Nisi's phone and messages.
Yeah, that's just stepping over too many boundaries.
Yeah.
So I can definitely agree with you on that part. Gabriela. And they are both at 2 different times of their lives, which I think is the whole point of the title. Like, such a fun age. At least at her age, being a mom, and then Amira at her age, being fresh out of college.
Yeah. Not knowing what she wants.
Right.
So we start at Shawnee getting news about getting a new marketing job at Sony and her friends' reactions. Do you think Amira is jealous of Shawnee?
Absolutely.
I thought the same thing.
She's very jealous. Because Shawnee, her friends, they have their careers, they have their jobs, they already know what they want in life. And Amira's just so lost, like she doesn't know what she wants. She's still babysitting part-time while her friends have these careers and making X amount of money.
Yeah, I think it's sad that Amira's biggest concern is her losing her insurance right now. Like, oh, I'm about to lose my insurance. Like, I need to get it together because I'm about to, you know, her parents.
And it should be more than that. I want to be successful. Like,
you should have been off your parents' insurance.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, I was on my parents until I was 26.
Jesus.
I took full advantage. With jobs and everything. I took advantage of that.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was off right away. Yeah. So, it's okay. Yeah, so. But we've learned that Amira doesn't question Zara's loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Zara is that friend that be like, she's blunt with her.
And she tells her what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I agree with you?
Yeah. And then I hang up on her.
She doesn't.
So, the girls are going out. Amira doesn't really want to go out. She just wants to watch Netflix because she's tight on money. Rent is coming up in 2 days. Well, how do you think she should have handled that? Like, do you think she should have went out?
This is, in my opinion, if she doesn't want to do something, she shouldn't. I always say, if your initial reaction, like if I'm asked to go out and I just like No.
Do you think those are her real friends? Like, I feel like we've been in situations where we're like, you know what, I can't this weekend.
Right.
You know?
So
why I feel like why isn't she speaking up to her friends like, hey,
I think it's more of yeah, but I think it's because more of like they can afford. I think it's more being embarrassed. Like they can afford to go out and have drinks and still be able to pay their rent because of their careers. Meanwhile, she's here like.
Do you think those are her real friends? If she's embarrassed around them?
No, because you would never be embarrassed to tell a friend that you're broke.
No. Like, you know I'm broke.
Right.
Why are you telling me to go out?
Exactly. You know I'm broke. Why are you telling me to take over your room that's $1,500 a month plus utilities?
Exactly.
You know?
When you're offering me to go through your closet for clothes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those aren't... I think the only friend that she has is Zara, who actually like puts her in her place about things and her reactions and stuff like that. But as far as like everyone taking into consideration her situation, they don't do that.
And then Kelley wants Amira to come over after her nighting, which is cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's her main thing.
Yeah, I like Kelley.
Me too.
I like Kelley. So then we get to the Thanksgiving part. Alix inviting Amira to Thanksgiving with her boyfriend. At this point, she doesn't know who Kelley is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. How did you feel about that?
My reaction when I read that, I actually laughed out loud, like, oh my goodness! Like my reaction.
Because you knew it was gonna get juicy.
Yeah, and like because you know Kelley does go. I mean, not Kelley. Alix does go through Amira's phone, but Amira always had Kelley under different names, so she never knew who it was. You know, and her initial reaction and like Kelley's initial reaction was like Alex, like, oh dang, and then Amira's here like, wait, what?
Yeah. So, yeah, we go into Alex opening up the door, seeing Kelley, and her reaction. But do you think Alex, whatever, is butthurt?
Absolutely. What? You could tell because once she saw Kelley, it wasn't automatically like,
okay, like it was high school.
Yeah,
like,
it was like, oh my gosh,
we're in our 30s
right
now.
Oh my gosh, I'm carrying a baby and I'm 141 pounds, and it just became her insecurities like just poured out. So that just shows that like she still, like, if he was to give her that chance, she'll take it.
Yeah,
she'll take it. Despite Amira and everything, she will take that chance.
So she held on to everything from high school, because she still talks about the letter. She still talks about like, oh, this was my first blowjob, the guy first blew off, and all this other extra stuff. So like, yeah, do you think it's because it was her first?
No,
like in her eyes, relationship, even though I don't think any relationship in high school is real. Yeah,
I just think it was more of the embarrassment because, like, you know, everything that happened that night between her and Kelley, I think it's just more of her being so embarrassed. It was hard for her to let go, and I think that's another reason why she's just so like anxious just to keep people liking her. I think she doesn't want to go through that again.
Her friend's reaction.
Their friends are funny.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing was when the one friend tells Amira to go to the kitchen with her to roll up the napkins and stuff.
Oh, Tamara.
Yeah.
I like Tamara, but now I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think like I started to dust off her friends because first of all, what do you have under there? Why are you judging her hair? And like that right there was super corny to me.
Right.
Like, you don't do that.
Right.
And then that goes to show, like, even if girls could be so petty that we could be from the same culture, same everything, but if we're on different levels, we could just look down at somebody else and
Right.
just be like, I'm better than you.
Right. And I feel like that's Tamara.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Peter and Alix has so many connections, you know, like,
And I use this and this on my girl's hair.
yeah, like, don't
do that.
Like, you
Yeah.
don't do that to someone.
Yeah, you keep those comments to yourself.
Right. Especially someone you've only met for an hour. Like, that's like me going to one of your family members and being like, no, you shouldn't parent like that. And you should, who are you? Like, who are
Use
you?
more coconut oil.
Yeah, no. Thank God that wasn't me, because Lord.
I mean, she did say, like, if both of her hands weren't occupied, she probably would have popped off.
Pop, pop.
Yeah. So at the table while they're having dinner, the shade of it all.
Oh, Kelley. Kelley was funny.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, knowing how they initially met, like, it just all came out on the table, and I think Kelley felt like, Kelley was hurt that, like, Amira told Alix, like, they met on the train and they didn't. But I can also understand why Amira didn't say that she met him at the grocery store, because then, like, it would have, I think it just would have brought it all back, like, exactly.
Because she is embarrassed of what happened
at the grocery store. Exactly.
That's something she doesn't want to keep talking about, and she wants to put behind her.
Exactly.
So, and it's not Alix's business at all where she met him.
It isn't. But they asked, and then Kelley told them how they actually met. And I think that him saying that he was recording it, and now they're like, oh, you can sue them, and
All about the money.
and she's just there like, no. But I do like how he, like, had her back and was like, that's her property, like, that's her video, she does what she wants with it, you know. So at one point I did say that Amira's loyalty is going to lie with Alix, but now
I was right. I was right.
No, I really do think it's going to lie with Kelley.
Yeah.
Because he has her back and he's like supporting
But
her.
alright, so then later on we get to the point where now Alix is snooping on Kelley, going through his Facebook, his Instagram. Oh, he now she's trying to flip it to, like, Kelley has a thing with black people, like he wants to prove a point.
Yeah.
And he dated this person and that person.
Like he has a black fetish.
Yeah. And now I feel like that's what she's telling herself to make her feel better about him dating Amira.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like, now it's like, I have to save her. Like, I have to protect her. Like, what are you protecting her from?
Yeah. But before that, we get to Kelley telling Amira about Alix and her past with having
a
black
maid.
maids and servants, and having them wear a uniform. And
I think it was just their uniform when she was a child. They just had a uniform. Now with Amira, it's not that she makes her, it's just that she provided her a polo so she doesn't get her own clothing.
But that was her way of going through things, like, hey, why don't you wear this so your clothes doesn't get dirty?
Yeah.
Instead of, like, this is gonna be your uniform.
Right. So I don't think that she purposely, like, said, no, you have a uniform, like, that's it. I think she just was being considerate of Amira's.
Okay, so you're still Team Alix, clearly.
No, I'm not. But
I think that she did it, like, in a sneaky way, like, hey, here's this, because she has mentioned the polo a couple times.
yeah,
And I think, like, that's her way of saying it, like, in a nice way without trying to be shady. You know?
yeah.
Like, hey, here's my brush, come here, let me brush your hair, alright? You know? And then every time you come, it's like, come here, hold on.
Yeah, I can see
You
where
know?
you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from.
With
Because
that-
at one point, you know, Alix could be like, you know, you don't have to wear that polo every day. You know, like, just,
But she hasn't.
she hasn't said that to her. So Alix wears that polo every time she watches Briar. So I can see where Kelley is, like, stating, like,
Yeah.
she's a bad person.
So, Alix and Kelley, they both bring back and forth their past. well, Kelley was like this in the past, and Alix was like that in the past. Do you think that they should hold on to that? People do change, right?
Yeah, people grow up. I don't think, and as far as like Kelley in the past and what happens with Alix that night, I don't think he was wrong for being upset.
No, not at all.
He was not wrong, because at first, when Alix first talks about the situation, she never mentions that those kids were back. Never. You did not. You just read their name. The kid's name, Robbie. That's it. It never said if he was white, if he was black, nothing. And then when Kelley
tells the story,
exactly, and he was just there, like, you know, they're in this rich neighborhood,
and then Kelley tells Alix, "Don't call the cops."
Yeah,
like
they'll leave.
Don't call the cops. And she's like, no, I'm calling the cops. So here he lost a scholarship. He went through all this drama because she knew the kid.
Right, exactly. She knew him, and they were swimming in their pool. It wasn't like they were breaking windows and trying to rob the house. They were literally just swimming in the pool. Yeah. So instead of saying, hey, you have to leave, Kelley, get your friends. You gotta go. She just has to call the cops and then ruin a kid's life.
Yeah.
You know, so in that aspect, I can understand why Kelley feels the way he does about her.
Yeah, I feel like Kelley is just trying to protect Amira. Like, he doesn't want the same thing that she did to Robbie to do to Amira.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if something ever goes wrong with Briar, something very petty that it's like not that serious, he feels that Alix is gonna take it to the extreme. Right. And then there goes Amira's life.
Exactly. So I do believe and think that Kelley is protecting Amira at all costs. Like, he really does genuinely care about her.
Yeah. So for the next part of the book, the last part, do you think there's gonna be a major twist?
Major twist. Somebody's Amira's gonna go off on somebody.
You think so?
I think so.
Because I don't know. I feel like it's so hard because, like, I feel like what's keeping Amira at this job is Briar.
It is. 100%.
She feels bad for him.
Yeah.
She's attached to him.
She's attached because of how Briar, because Briar's very expressive. Like, she's
a lot.
She says how she feels, and after she threw up and Amira took her to the bathroom and she said Catherine's a favorite, that broke my heart, because it's like, for a little girl to notice that you're being chosen over, like, it's just there's favoritism within the family. That's sad, and I think that right there really made Amira be like, I can't leave her. Like, I can't just stop because she looks forward to me.
But that's not her responsibility.
It isn't, but it's people with big hearts, especially people with no kids, and you know what I mean? Like, it's money, but it's also someone that she loves. Like, so it can be hard. It can be easier said than done, as far as like Kelley being like, you have to leave that job. It's easier said.
And she said she's gonna do it, but on her own terms.
Yeah.
So for the next part, I feel like I just hope that Kelley sticks around. That's it.
I think Kelley's gonna stick around, and Alix is gonna do something that throws Amira off. Because I think, in my opinion, I think Amira's gonna catch on to her and what she's been doing and how she's overstepping boundaries.
I hope so.
Me too. I really do, because Alix is...
She's over the top right now.
Over the top.
Like, you're snooping on Amira, now you're snooping on Kelley. That just shows how insecure she is.
Extremely insecure.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, the last part will be, it's the last part of the book. And then we'll be introducing our new read.
So for next week, we are going to finish off the book. We'll be back with you to discuss the ending, and as far as what we thought about the book in total. And we'll also introduce our new read for the next month.
Yeah, so any comments, leave them down below. Our Instagram is down below. And I hope you guys liked our new little setup. We're working little by little, switching it up.
Yeah.
Next week is gonna look totally different. So work with us. We're
Yes.
trying to test everything out until we find something that we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
But keep giving us your opinions, suggestions. We're listening.
Yes.
Clearly.
And thank you for all the recommendations I did receive. It's very appreciated. And we have a list.
We do.
We have a list. So
Hopefully we get to all of them.
we will. We will.
All right, well, till next time. Kisses,
Sisters.